had for breakfast?
This morning, I was very intentional and didn't eat churros like the last time that I had breakfast.
You didn't eat churros last time.
Yeah, you're right. I eat cereal that tastes like churros. I had a banana coconut cocoa shake smoothie.
That's a lot of banana coconut cocoa shake smoothie. That's great.
And coffee.
It's very healthy.
Everyone has to have coffee.
All right, so we are 2 minutes early.
Yeah.
For today's live
Better
Q&A.
Early than late.
Can I just ask you some reflective questions about last week?
Yes.
What's one fact you remember from last week?
I remember that Wes stood behind the laptop for the majority of the time going like this.
Okay.
Because I just remembered because I remembered to smile.
So now you know why she smiled so much.
Or got really distracted at certain times.
And what's one emotion that you felt during last week's live chat?
I had a lot of fun. That's not an emotion. I was
How do you feel when you have fun?
I was energized.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, I felt really energized after.
That's good. What is one new thing you learned during last week's live chat with Sara Gearhart?
It's best to be unprepared.
It's best to be unprepared?
Yeah, because I feel like I may just do better when I'm live and not over analyzing or thinking about, what side is it better, that sort of stuff.
When you're unprepared, the expectations are lower. Exactly. Yeah. No, I'm learning about Sara.
Everyone wants to see real life, not staged life.
All right. Did you make any life-changing commitments after last week's? I know I did, but did you make any life-changing commitments after last week's live chat? And we're on in 1 minute, so you have a minute to think about that.
Oh, so I'm gonna take my time then. No, I'm just kidding. I did make a 3-episode Q&A commitment to Wes.
Yeah, it's a contract.
Yeah, it's a contract.
We offered you for no pay, no compensation.
Yeah.
You knew that.
I'm
okay,
in.
So so this is episode 2 of Sarah's 3-episode contract for live Q&A.
To be here.
All right, so let's start off by sharing. We have a special episode.
Yes, guys.
I don't want to say prepared because you've already told me.
Because I'm not prepared.
So tell us what we have today.
Today is a very special day in Fullerton. It's Nearpod Day. Oh, dang it. Where's my folder? It's Nearpod Day. We have not 1, not 2, but 4 Nearpod representatives here. Wait, let me count that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, 4. Super great crowd. I'm not just saying that because they paid for my lunch. They are a great group of people that I've really enjoyed interacting with. So I'm excited to share them with you, our viewers, which is not, it's growing slowly.
From 0 to 0.
From 0 to 0.
Think about the rebroadcast.
Okay, so I'm very excited. Wait, don't come on. No.
Special.
This is my second time meeting Katie, and the first time we hit it off. She still talked to me last time, even though I went home with pink eye the last time she was here, not because of her. Maybe I shouldn't share these details. This is live after all. Katie from Nearpod. Come on. Hi. Katie, where did you wake up this morning?
Salt Lake City, Utah.
She's not from around these parts.
Not from here.
No, Katie.
And we still talk because I didn't go home with pink eye.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm thankful for that. No one went home with pink eye, everyone.
Did.
No, just me. So Katie, can you go ahead and give me your title at Nearpod and a brief job? Like, what do you do on a day-to-day basis?
Okay, I am a trainer and teacher liaison. Sorry, it's a little bit of a longer title. And I get to go to different districts in the country and talk about Nearpod, teach teachers how to use Nearpod, and just, I don't know, spread the Nearpod love around, because I think
it's
every classroom's better if you're using Nearpod. And that's, I taught with it as a teacher, and I love it now.
So everyone who's watching, all 2 of you,
hello, thank you for watching.
Yes. Thank you, those 2 viewers. I don't know if you all know this, but Nearpod, the district, our department has paid for Nearpod for you. So in the past, many of you probably were using like a silver license?
Yes,
it's a free license. Yes, that anyone could use. We've paid for the full whammy edition for you. That includes the EL lessons and then also all the VR lessons that we have there, which is pretty great because
how much would it cost to take a class to Bali?
To the hoodoos,
Or to go to Bryce Canyon.
Yeah. Who knew they were hoodoos? Probably a lot of you actually. So really quick, I want to tell you how to log in because this is where the biggest confusion comes from. It is, you go to nearpod.com and in the upper right-hand corner, I don't know which way they're viewing us. Whatever is your right.
You're right.
Click on sign in. And this is the confusing part. You'll see a spot where you enter your username and password, but no, don't do that. Go down farther to where it says sign in with Google. And all you have to do is click on sign in with Google and it will authenticate with your @myfsd.org account and
use the same password. If it asks you for a password, it's the same one as your school email.
Yes, but you shouldn't even have to do that because clicking on the button should make it really easy. We're trying to make it easy on you because
if we can, we should.
Yes, exactly. And this is what I walked away the last time that Katie and I met, is that why are not all of our teachers using Nearpod? Because I was looking at them like, say I had a rough night and I wasn't able to lesson plan ahead of time, whatever. I was sick, my child was sick. I could bust out a Nearpod lesson and still have engaged students. So,
and your kids are going to love it way more than a worksheet packet.
Yeah, seriously, because paper, what? No.
Yep.
So, off the top of your head, what is the first feature that is your favorite feature in Nearpod? Like, whatever pops in your head first.
I love open-ended questions.
Ooh. Explain open-ended questions to me.
Now, while on its surface may not feel like the flashiest thing in the whole world, it gives you insight into all of your students' thoughts. You know, you get to see what everybody's thinking and how they're answering, and then you can use those answers to then drive the discussion. So instead of me calling on somebody who's brave enough to raise their hand, I have the answers and I send those out, and that's what we talk about.
All right, so how does it, so really quick, if you never signed into Nearpod before, it is essentially, that's Wes telling us to smile. It is the lesson on your students' either devices or just maybe even if you don't want them to use their devices, which let's use the devices, they have it. You can display it to your TV in your room, whatever you're using to display your content, and you can walk students through an entire lesson. So,
and ask them to do something where you get information back every couple of slides, and it's awesome. Like, I think for me, the reason I'm here with you today, is because I just believe that this accomplishes so much for instruction. The fact that we can get to know our students, and that's how we learn to love them. Is if we get to know them. And also that we can actually meet their needs because they're telling us what those needs are. So much of my time as a teacher was figuring out what those needs are.
Right.
And that game's a lot easier when you have technology like Nearpod.
Exactly.
So the producer, Katie, why don't you introduce our next Nearpod guest?
Oh,
okay. Well,
we're going to tag team out of this one.
Yeah, tag team.
All right, so this is Adam, and Adam is one of our content designers, and he's got a very cool title, and he's going to tell you what that title is, but he builds the awesome content that we use in Nearpod. And
a lot to think about when you're live, people.
Yeah, sorry. And I'm gonna go ahead and transition to Adam, but he has made some amazing things that you have access to use. It's ready to go. One of the things that kept people I worked with from using Nearpod was, oh, I don't have time to build everything. Well, there's awesome content that's already there that you can use tomorrow with your students. So I'm going to switch to Adam, and he's going to tell you about it.
Thank you, Katie.
And his title.
Adam, welcome to the show. All right, this is Adam. He's going to share his title with you right now.
I am a learning experience designer.
Which is awesome.
It's a fancy way of saying I make the lessons that are on Nearpod. Yeah.
Yes. Okay, so Adam just walked us through a very interesting lesson about Snapchat, which I thought was great because he was explaining that students use Snapchat every day. People my age, maybe not as much. People older than me may not be using them at all. That's a gross generalization. Maybe people older than me are using it as well. Anyways, we tend to be fearful about the apps that our students are using, Snapchat being one of them. And so he walked us through this very cool lesson about helping students realize how Snapchat plays into their life. And I don't know if you want to talk about that.
Sure. So I think using Snapchat isn't a bad thing, but sometimes we get exploited by the platforms we use in ways we don't understand sometimes.
Yes, we've realized that lately.
And I think there are a few features on Snapchat that we might need to interrogate a bit more than we do right now. One of those features that we talked about was Snap Streaks. And I think if you ask any of your students, they're keeping streaks, like 20 of them that have been going on for over a year. Basically, if I send you a message and you send me one, we have a streak of 1 day.
Yes.
And if we do that for multiple days, we have a streak of multiple days.
And kids are going a year with streaks with people, which I think is just like mind-boggling to me, but who knows? I watch.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so in some ways, you're giving power to a platform to determine who your friends are.
Yeah.
And it's not that in itself is a bad thing, but if you're realizing I have to send 20 Snapchats today, snaps, not Snapchats.
Yes.
If I have to send 20 snaps today to maintain
cool.
my friendships, that's problematic because you're giving power to a platform to determine who your friends are. And even if you like don't have service and you don't manage to maintain that streak with that one friend, that's going to communicate to them that you're no longer friends with them.
Guys, that's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
It's just that would help me understand Snapchat a little bit more. And so what I think is so cool is that I think that we're always so afraid to talk about Snapchat with our students, but this is like something that this is their world. This is something they're understanding, and it's a way to have your students interact and engage with you in the classroom. And maybe this is just a small portion of your day. I know you guys are doing a lot out there, but maybe this is a small portion of your day of just, hey, let's talk about Snapchat. And they're like, all of a sudden they're like, yeah, I'll talk about Snapchat.
Yeah, we don't want to say you have to be an expert to be able to talk about this sort of stuff. So we're helping you facilitate the discussion with some of the resources we make.
Adam is writing a lot of the content out there in Nearpod land. So, I mean, how much?
I'd say probably 500 lessons so far.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So he's doing a part of your job for you. So thanks, Adam.
Of course. Thank you. Yeah.
Queuing you for the next guest.
All right,
Adam.
That's
my cue.
You get to introduce the next.
Who's coming next? Susan's coming next. The part of our beautiful support team here in California. So
thank you,
see you guys later. Yeah.
Susan, welcome to my live Q&A.
Hi. Great to be here.
Susan, go ahead and tell us your title.
I am a customer success manager for Nearpod.
All right.
So I handle California.
And she brought us cookies recently,
Oh,
and they were
yes.
delicious.
I
What was
did.
the name of that bakery? Shout out to the
Becker's Bakery
in Manhattan Beach.
in Manhattan Beach. If you've
All right,
ever
if
watched,
you're in the neighborhood. Yeah.
What's that? Cupcake Wars. They were winners of Cupcake Wars. Just
Yes,
FYI.
the cookies were the size of my whole face. So, anyways, I will scoot in. All right. So, off the top of your head, what is the very first feature in Nearpod that's your favorite?
The Collaborate board.
Tell us more about the Collaborate board.
So that's something you can put up and ask any kind of question to your students, and they can all pop in their ideas, and then they all populate on the board. It's a great way of sharing ideas and concepts for every student in the class, and you can even make the names anonymous. So think about if you're asking a question, tagging onto the Snapchat idea about have you had a bad experience with Snapchat? Kids can put it in there anonymously, and feel free to share.
I actually really like that anonymous feature because I am always that kid that is like, I don't want to write anything because I don't want to be singled out, and I'm not the first one to raise my hand in a group conversation.
Yeah.
So the fact that I can still contribute and have some sort of okay, I feel safe saying it because I'm not like, oh, this is what Sara said. I really like that feature of Nearpod. Why should our teachers be using Nearpod?
Why? Because we have such fabulous content and we're able to make the lessons interactive. So keeps the students on task, keeps them engaged in the lesson. I think that's the number one thing. Engagement with great content that allows you to bring VR tours to the students as well as giving them cool activities. The other big thing is the assessments piece where you can ask quizzes so you can instantly understand where your students are in the comprehension level of what you're teaching.
Got it. Very cool. All right, so we have 1 minute left, everybody. In case you want to know, we're going to bring on our final guest, Susan. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you.
Can you introduce the next person?
And the next person coming on is Lizzie.
Yeah, here she comes. She's got to dance. She's building up to this. Yes. Wait 1 second. We have a wardrobe malfunction.
Sure did.
Lizzie, Lizzie, welcome to the show.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
Can you please tell us your title?
Yes. So my name is Lizzie Fortune, and I am the EL and PD product specialist with Nearpod.
Where did you wake up this morning?
I woke up this morning in Arizona.
Yes, people are just waking up in random places and coming out to hang with us today,
right.
Fullerton.
Because
You should
Fullerton
get
rocks.
here. Yes, totally. Okay, so I've asked this question before, but I really like the very first thing that pops in your head when you think about Nearpod and why you love Nearpod.
The very first thing that pops into my head is we've talked a lot about the student facing, and I love the fact that we are able to really engage with all students. So it's really for every learner. So whether we have our struggling students or our students who are learning English, we're able to really get in and provide meaningful experiences that translate and transfer the information.
So tell us more about your focus at Nearpod and what you do on a day-to-day basis.
So at Nearpod, my focus is on the EL content. So really talking about our EL students, every learner, and also professional development. So Nearpod offers a ready-to-run professional development platform.
Did you guys know this, principals,
Did we?
admins? Yeah,
I mean,
it's in there. It's part of our package. Tell us more about that.
well, I would love to. So when we're thinking about the fact that as administrators or as lead coaches, we need to deliver professional development.
Yes.
We also a lot of times have to create professional development, which takes a lot of time because we
People
have
are
to,
busy.
right?
Yeah,
And then
pretty
we
much.
have to be the experts, and then we're trying to figure out how do we drill the information down and then deliver it in like an hour so that everybody doesn't leave and get upset. So that's what I do every day is we talk a lot about professional development and how Nearpod really makes it an experience for the teachers. So not only do the students
Yes,
get to have fun
everybody.
experiences. we
I'm
all
thinking
do.
about the ways I can use this with classified staff, even with just some of the applications that we use with Google. So not just students and teachers, every staff member in the district. You guys can't see what's happening, but there are a lot of teachers showing up right now to talk to our Nearpod representatives to learn more about Nearpod. So I'm going to sign off. Please come and join me next Thursday at 3:15. I'll be here, Lord willing. So until next, as long as the weather in the fort permits. So join us next week again, and happy Nearpod Day, Lizzie, Adam, Susan, Katie. Thank you so much for being here. They are here to support